what, guys, man, nowadays we are catering to the criminals. We truly are. You know, in San Francisco, a man went up to the cops, pulled a gun on them, and then when the cops opened fire on this man, they're upset with the cops. They're wondering why the cops had to use deadly force. Really? Again, you're going to hold the cops accountable? You're going to ask what other force the cops could have used other than deadly force? Come on. The guy pulled a gun on the cops. The cops had no choice. They had no choice but to open fire. But hey, guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
Incident is still under investigation.
And tonight, the man's family honored his memory with a gathering. As KTVU's Amber Lee shows us, they question if police could have done more to de-escalate this situation.
Relatives, friends, and community members gather for a celebration of life to remember Ryan Bluford, who was shot and killed by police here at the intersection of Catalina and Fairfax in San Francisco's Bayview.
I was looking out my window. I seen him shot him. I was in my window.
This neighbor tells me she's traumatized by the police shooting.
They were police. I take care of myself before they take care of me.
Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on July 26th, police say Bluford approached and engaged officers while they were arresting a man. Investigators say Bluford was armed with what appeared to be a gun. They say he pointed it at officers, and that's when police opened fire. Bluford was hit by gunfire and taken to the hospital where he died. Police...
You know, guys, right now the cops are under scrutiny for everything. They're under the damn microscope. You know, it's like, what could the cops have done to de-escalate the situation? Nothing. The guy was pointing a gun at the cops. They could have done nothing except shoot the guy. I mean, again, there's nothing they could have done because, again, you can only do a couple of things when somebody points a gun at you. You can run or you can fight back. Again, they're the cops. They can't run. So they got to fight. They got to fight them. They had to engage them. And number two, man, again, the cops are responsible for people around them. They are responsible for the community. So again, they had to engage. Because again, if the guy opened fire, he could kill somebody else. He could have hit not only one of the cops, but it could hit some innocent bystander, some kid. You know, again, man, we have got to understand in this country that we got to stop taking up for criminals. I hate the guy who lost his life, but guess what? He pointed a gun at the cops and left the cops no choice. The cops had to shoot him. The cops had to avert a very dangerous situation. They had to deal with the situation.
Police released body cam video Friday during a virtual meeting regarding this incident.
We do not condone violence. We are a peaceful family. Unfortunately, the circumstances did happen. But as you know, the police make mistakes as well, and so do human beings.
Relatives at the community gathering Friday night say they have not seen the police body cam footage. They tell me Bluford had been struggling with the loss of his mother to cancer last year. Family members say they'd like to see police use tactics other than deadly force.
I really want to learn what de-escalation strategies they employ. Out of all of those police officers, I wish one of them would have just took the time to say, hey, let's talk.
I ain't worried about nobody knocking on my doors, shooting gunshots and all. I'm tired.
Relatives tell me Bluford left behind 4 children ages 3 to 20. They say authorities have not yet released his body back to his family. In San Francisco, Amber Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
We had to be honest, man. There's nothing the cops could have done. Nothing. Again, you can't engage with somebody. As far as dialogue, you can't talk to somebody who was pointing a gun at you. You can't. And again, the person in the red, man, that man or woman or whatever, man, the person saying that they should have asked him what was wrong. Again, how do you engage and talk to somebody? And again, I'm sure they were. But again, when somebody is yelling and screaming and pointing a gun at you and threatening you, even before they point the gun at you, again, when somebody is yelling and screaming at you from a distance and engaging you, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? The cops were already there dealing with a situation there already. They couldn't have done anything, man. They couldn't have done anything differently than what they did. Again, they were dealing with a situation to begin with, and the guy came up and started yelling and screaming at them. He started engaging them. Then he pulled a gun out. Again, there's nothing the cops could have done. Again, man, I understand the guy was going through a difficult time. Apparently, he lost his mother last year. Get that. I lost my dad back on Easter. I was very close to my dad. But the fact of the matter is, man, we have to keep our emotions in check. We do. We have to make sure that we don't go batshit crazy every damn time something happens. Because again, every single one of us, if we live long enough, we're going to lose people in our lives. We are going to. And some of those people are going to be very close to us. But again, we cannot lose our shit. We have ourselves to think about, and we have other people to think about. Again, the guy had 4 kids. He's got 4 kids to think about. I'm sorry his mother passed. I truly am. But the fact is, man, life goes on. It moves on. And when you got 4 kids, you got to think about your 4 kids. You got to think about your own life. Mama's gone, man. It's going to happen to everybody's mama, everybody's daddy. People move on. And again, man, we have got to recognize that. And we got to deal with it. And our lives at that point, they're about us. And they're about our kids. They're about our families. They're about the people that are here. And again, man, I do understand it's difficult to lose people. I do. But again, we have to keep things in check. We have to keep our emotions in check. Because they do no good. And they do no good for us. Man, if we buy into every bit of hysteria. If we get too far down with the sadness or too far up with the happiness, we have got to keep things in check, man. We have got to have a certain level of balance. We do. A certain level of perspective. But hey guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a